right, guys, welcome back. And I have at this time one of my favorite guests that I've had on the show. We've had her on about 4 or 5 times now. The Savage of the UFC's flyweight division, Gillian Roberts. How you doing today, Gillian?
I'm doing great. Still high off this win and just getting ready for the next one, I guess. I got a grappling match and I'm looking for my next fight already.
Yeah, you talked about your last one that you just had against Courtney Casey on Saturday. Amazing performance. Tell me, was going in there and dominating her on the ground, was that something that you had planned on doing? Because we've seen you do it for well over 3 minutes. I think it was like almost 10 minutes of ground time that you were on top of her.
I know with all these girls, I'm going to be dominant on the ground. So generally, that's the end goal. I know I can put them away once we get to the ground. So I've been working on my stand-up a lot more through this camp. I felt a lot more comfortable on my feet, but no matter what, the end goal is always to take it down.
Yeah, so obviously you've been with Dean Thomas for so long. Obviously, you heard him. You said it was like 45 seconds, and you heard him say it's never too late for a finish, and that's when you seen the rear naked choke and you jumped all over it.
Oh yeah, it was like 45 seconds left. You can hear him in the video. Like I've rewatched the fight. You can hear him say it. He's like, "It's never too late to finish." And literally like 5-10 seconds after that, I had the choke in and was finishing. She just gave me the opportunity at the exact same time. It was just kind of funny how it all played together.
Yeah, and then there was a moment after the fight too where she said you were a blanket. You were just smothering her on top, pretty much.
That was actually in between rounds that I heard her say that. So I got off of her at the end of the second round, I believe it was, and she just the second she stood up, that's what she said to her corner. She's like a fucking blanket. It's like, try not to let me hear that. It's like it built my confidence a little bit, when you're going into the third round,
right?
She's struggling.
So how was it for you to have no fans there? I mean, obviously it's a new experience that you've never actually had to deal with. How was it for you?
Honestly, it was awkwardly chill in there. Like it was just like usually I don't know, it feels so crazy and everything's going by so fast, but I felt like everything was just in slow motion. I feel like I performed better. It's different without the crowd, It's just like you can hear your corner. She was talking to her corner the whole fight. I was talking to the ref. It was awkwardly chill. That's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to hear all of her exchanges. She was able to hear all of your guys' exchanges. Did you guys try to, mix it up a little bit, knowing that did you guys have any like code talk or anything, knowing that they were going to be able to hear you?
Oh yeah, Dean and I came up with just like different numbers for shots that he wanted me to take. So we were working like head outside singles, doubles, head inside singles, and he would call like 1, 2, or 3, and I would have a number for each one of those. So it was just what he saw more available.
Obviously, we're going to switch it up for the next time. You want to stay active, correct?
Oh yeah, 100%. Dean was talking to Mick already, and he said they're looking for me for September. So hopefully I'll have a name soon.
Nice. Now, did you know going into the fight, if you were to secure a submission victory, that you'd have the most submission victories out of all the women in UFC history?
Yeah, I saw that stat because whenever Cynthia Cabello fought, they were hyping her up about that, and they showed my name on the list. They're like, "Oh yeah, if she wins this, she breaks the record," and so I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't really think about it until I was in a post-fight interview and someone was like, "Did you know you just broke the record?" I was like, "Oh, like that's crazy to me." Like thinking like Ronda Rousey was the one who said it, like she's the biggest pioneer of women's MMA, and for me to be able to break that record is just unreal.
No, for sure. What did you guys do after the fight? Did you have any celebration? I know Hannah Goldie was in your corner, and obviously Dean as well.
Yeah, Hannah was with me, and so right after we just headed to the dispensary, then got some White Claw and had a white girl, just like sat by the pool, got white girl wasted, just chilled, ordered some pizza, and then back to training on Monday.
Where did you guys get the pizza from? Now, because personally, if I'm in Vegas, there's Secret Pizza at the Cosmopolitan, and that's my favorite spot to go to.
Honestly, we just ordered off Uber Eats because we were just chilling by. But they had like 5 to 10 different sizes of pizza, and we ordered the middle one because we're like, oh yeah, that should be good. And it was 30 inches, and we didn't realize how big
That's
that
huge.
was. Yeah, it was.
That's the middle one? What was the large like?
I think it was like 56 inches or something like that.
Holy shit.
with the 30 and like it took two of us to carry it. Like it was absolutely huge.
Did you finish it?
No, we did not.
That's crazy. That's a lot of pizza.
Yeah, it was just the two of us. And then Tisha Torres and Raquel Pennington ended up coming down to the pool later. We're like, you guys can just keep the rest.
We need help with this pizza.
Oh, it's just way too much.
Now, you said you were right back into training. Now, you're training with Dean Thomas. How has that been with him not being an American top team anymore?
Honestly, I keep on telling him, I'm like, him leaving ATT was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I feel like I get all the one-on-one attention now that I've been needing these last 2 years, where he's not spread so thin. He gets to spend time with the fighters he wants to spend time with. And I really see myself improving because I'm getting so much attention from a coach, somebody who's correcting me constantly. I'm not just going out there, and obviously ATT has great training partners, but if you're making the same mistakes every day, you're not getting any better.
And you and Dean have had this relationship for so long. You guys know each other like, you know, it's like almost like back of each other's hands. You know what I mean? You guys know each other like everything.
Oh yeah, no one makes me better than Dean. Like he knows exactly where I'm gonna go in the fight, so that's why I love having him in my corner. He knows exactly what I want to do. He's not sitting there screaming advice of like things I wouldn't necessarily do, or even in training, he lets me be the fighter I want to be. He lets me use my own, like help create my own style instead of just like mimicking other people's styles.
Now, with the whole COVID-19 thing, I mean, obviously you've been training with Dean. I believe he's had mats at his garage, right, at his house.
Yeah, that's the new gym right now.
Nice. Have
Dean,
you also been trained anywhere else, though?
I've been training at Hinato Tavares Jensen Beach and Gamblers Jiu Jitsu as well. That's just to get some rounds in whenever I need them. But 95% of my training is just down with Dean in his garage.
And how has that been?
At the gyms or in the garage?
At the gyms. I mean, obviously going back and forth. Like, how's the camaraderie and how has that all been? Because now, are you at AT&T at all?
No, I'm not with ATT anymore at all.
Okay, so now we're completely away from ATT.
Yes, 100%. But I love the small gym, like the small gym vibe. It's just different, you know. It's definitely more camaraderie and more of being an actual team and like a family. So I definitely like that. And then, like I said, majority of my training is just done with Dean though. So it's like we're getting a lot of one-on-ones, or it's me and Jose Shorty Torres, or we have Zoila Frostos here this week, or Hannah Goldie comes down. So it's like I always have a training partner there.
Who was your main training partners for this fight with Courtney?
Drilling wise, it was Hannah Goldie more than anything, and Dean.
She was in your corner too.
Yeah, Dean worked with. We did privates every single day through coronavirus, so it's like Dean was the biggest impact.
And how instrumental was Hannah in your training?
Exactly. Like she's a perfect drilling partner, especially like generally I'm moving around Dean and he's 180 pounds, so it's not necessarily realistic all the time. Yes. So to have somebody my size there to work with is always nice.
Now, I mean, obviously we talked about it a little bit. You want to stay active, correct?
Correct, yes.
Now, we'll talk about your submission underground here in a second, but I want to talk about MMA right now. We have a whole island in Abu Dhabi. The UFC is putting on events. It's crazy right now. Are you down to go to Fight Island?
I love to go to Fight Island. I feel like that's like like every fighter's dream. Every fighter's dying to get on one of those cards, and I'd love to have Antonina Shevchenko across the cage for me.
Ooh, you already got a name. And I see you were picking out Antonina. I was going to go another direction. And what about Cynthia? You guys have already fought before. She's beaten you. I'm pretty sure you would love to get that one back. She is now officially in your division. I mean, it'd be a great fight.
I'm definitely down for them. Honestly, I'm down for any matchup. I was just looking at the ranks, and I'm not ranked yet, so to call somebody out that high, I don't.
And I just seen that. That's a travesty right now because Courtney was 15 and you beat her. How'd that happen?
I don't know. I like literally started dying laughing when I saw that. I beat Courtney. I beat the number 15 and they ranked Molly McCann. So I'm like, I don't get how that happened.
Now you got to fight Molly.
Well, I have fought Molly. I've beat her before.
I'm so confused. The rankings is all fucked up. They've actually been talking about the rankings a lot in recent things. How do you feel about the UFC's rankings?
I don't know how they work at all.
It's kind of
Uh,
like they just pull names out of a hat. They're like, this looks good. Let's stick it here. She's 15.
and like, yeah, like I said, Courtney Casey's number 15 girl. I expected beating her to be ranked number 15. I believe Antonina's like 12 or 13, so I felt like that'd be a just matchup of just moving up a few spots there. Like obviously I'd be down for the Cynthia Caveo fight. The first time I took it, it was literally on 5 days notice for me. She had a full camp, her opponent pulled out, and I was just like, fuck it, took it on 5 days notice and went to a decision with her. And I believe she got signed to the UFC like 1 or 2 fights after that. So
Yeah, I think she was like her third or fourth fight in her pro fight. She was in the UFC.
yeah, so I definitely feel like that's a great matchup for me. Like I said, obviously I took it on 5 days notice last time, so I'm always been salty about that. I'm always wanted to get that one back.
And it was your second pro fight, correct?
I believe it was my third or fourth.
It was very early on in your career then.
Yeah, I was 2-1 going into that fight, I believe.
You've grown tremendously, obviously, since then.
Oh yeah, we're both different fighters since that moment. We're both really great grapplers and both down to fight on the feet, you know.
And let's talk about your grappling real quick. You talked about Submission Underground. Who are you facing?
I'll be facing Amanda Lowen, who's a black belt out of Oregon. Her and Jessica I grappled last weekend, and I just commented on one of the posts. I was like, if you guys need somebody to grapple the winner of Jessica I and Amanda Lowen, I'm available. And then I was watching Sub Underground later that night, and Chael Sonnen was like, oh, and Gillian Robertson will be here. And I was like, oh, shit, it's not my comment. So that was how I figured it out, was I just heard Chael say it live.
Nice. So, I mean, obviously, how excited are you for that all coming up? We know you're grappling heavy, eccentric style of MMA. So this is just straight grappling, no striking. How do you feel? Is something that you like better, or would you rather be in MMA?
I don't know. I love them both. I really love competing in them both, but it's definitely a lot less stress doing a grappling competition. Yeah. I feel like I can go in there and fuck around a little bit more, where in an MMA fight, it's you
fuck around for a second, you can get knocked out.
Yeah, there's a lot more risks in MMA.
For sure. Now, high rollers. Have you ever thought about doing high rollers? You could win a pound.
I know. I've always tried to, but it's just been like my fight schedule hasn't lined up perfectly with it. I signed up for it twice, I think, and both times I got a fight like short notice right before it. So it's just,
I do high rollers every time I go to jiu-jitsu.
Me too.
It's great. It's the only way I like to train.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've got a sponsor, Vitacan, who they hook me up with everything that I need and make sure that I have all the pre-training and post-training I need.
Now, I just seen you posted a box that you got from one of your sponsors. It was like a bong and all kinds of stuff. Oh, I lost you there. Where'd you go? Oh, now you're back.
Yeah.
So your sponsor's been sending you guys all kinds of stuff, correct?
Oh yeah, I came home and got a gift bag from Vitacan today, and it was just a huge bag of it was like grinders and a rolling tray and a couple of jars of bud for me and a couple of cartridges too. So they definitely take care of me.
Now, Antonina, Cynthia Calvillo, are there any other names on that hit list of yours that you would like to take out?
Every girl 1 through 15, I want one of them. I don't care who it is. I'm really down for whatever. I feel like Antonina is a great matchup for me. And like I said, I expected to be ranked number 15, and she's just up there. Who else? Jiyeon Kim is ranked under her, but she's fighting this weekend. So it'd be a quick turnaround if she wanted, if like I was to get in there with her. Montana De La Rosa's up there. I'm down for that one. Any of those girls, 1 through 15, I'm down for it.
Now, so Dean, has he put any input on this? Has he said like, I for sure Antonina?
Well, I just threw out the name of Antonina, and he agreed with it. He felt like she was a good matchup, and fairly easy matchup, essentially the same as Courtney Casey, except I don't think she's good on the ground. She's same level wrestling, maybe a little bit higher level striking, and I feel like it'd be an easier sub.
No, for sure. Obviously, your submission victories are going to keep piling up. How far do you think you can take this record that you hold?
I'm not trying to let anybody catch up. Even after I retire, no girl's going to be able to catch up to this record. So I'm just going to keep on pushing the bar.
Yeah, because I mean, if you really sit back and think about it, we're not just talking about the UFC women's flyweight division. We're talking about every female who's ever put on a pair of gloves. Amanda Nunes, Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, Holly Holm, all these great women. You have more submission victories than all of them.
Oh yeah, like I said, it was mind blowing to me just to be in the same list as Ronda Rousey. Never mind being on top of her, beating her is just like it seems unreal. It seems dreamlike to me.
No, for sure. You know, a lot of fighters have been in the news lately over money, over their contract disputes. How do you feel about the situation with the UFC? How do you feel like your situation's playing out? And then do you have any, outlook on how other people could do things a little better?
Um, I guess with my situation, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy with uh being able to live my dream. Like right now, that's the fighting for the UFC is the only job that I have, and I'm content with that. I'm content with
Yeah.
being able to just like literally going to the gym and training every day. It's fun for me, and I love it. So uh like obviously the money does matter, but I'm not in it for the money.
No, for sure, for sure. Now, I don't want to keep you too much more from your day. I already took almost a good 15, 20 minutes from you. But I do want to give you an opportunity before we leave for you to give a shout out to your sponsors, teammates, loved ones, anyone that's really helped you along your MMA journey.
Go ahead and shout out Vitacan, and Hanato Tavares, Jensen Beach, Gamblers Jiu Jitsu, Dan Donaldson for opening your gym and mats for me all through the coronavirus. Obviously, my coach Dean Thomas and all my training partners that have helped me through this time period. I'm thankful for, and follow me at savage_UFC on Twitter and Instagram, and watch me get my hand raised on July 12th at Sub Underground on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that sub underground, man. Thank you again for your time, Gillian, and I cannot wait to see you continue flourishing your UFC debut. Ladies and gentlemen, the savage of the flyweight division, Gillian Robinson.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure talking to you again.
Of course, have a good one.
You too.